What's up, my people? Welcome back to Peche Football Sometimes Daily, the show where we take a look at all the news around the world of football. It's obviously the transfer window, so we are going to be breaking down a lot of transfer news today. Today, we're going to be talking about Barcelona, Chelsea, and Manchester United. Three clubs that haven't done a lot of business thus far in the transfer window, but are starting to get after it in, we're week 3 into the window? So let's get crack-a-lackin'. We're going to start off with Manchester United. They have one signing in the door. Malacia, the left back from Feyenoord, has signed with Manchester United for a reported fee of around 15 million euros, I believe, 15 million pounds. And I really like this transfer. I mean, I haven't watched Feyenoord a whole lot. I watched them in the Conference League a little bit. I didn't really watch too much of the Eredivisie last year. So if you do know a lot about the Eredivisie, let me know in the comments what kind of player he is. But from what I've seen of him so far on YouTube, in the Conference League, I really like the player for a few reasons. I mean, the way he challenges for the ball, I can't ask a defender to do much more than that. He's a bit rash, but I kind of like that. I see him flying into challenges, cracking fools, and that's exactly what I want from my fullback. He ranked 4th in the Eredivisie last season for tackles. He made 56 tackles. That's the type of player you can train into a top fullback. It's hard to teach that, but he has that within him. He already has that kind of quality. So that's one thing I really like about him, his ability to just fly into tackles. Now, he's not the most productive player when it comes to getting forward. He had 1 goal and 5 assists last season, which is not bad, but you can't say that's among the best in Europe. And we can't hold him to that standard. We can't all be Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I would say he definitely has the ability to improve in that area because of his quality. Whether it's crossing the ball, striking the ball, carrying the ball forward on the dribble, getting out of tight spaces. He has that technical kind of foundation and quality to build from. So I get excited thinking about how he can be implemented into Ten Hag's system, because we know Ten Hag likes to use his fullbacks to get up and down the pitch, whether it was Mazraoui or Tagliafico at Ajax. Both of them like to get forward and contribute in the final third. Now, the other player that has come into United is Christian Eriksen, 30 years old, on a free transfer, so you're not paying a huge transfer fee, but you're also getting a quality player. And more than his technical ability and his ability on the ball, because we all know his quality on the ball and what he can do as a footballer. But what I really think he brings to United is Premier League experience, but also mentality. I mean, the man literally collapsed on a football pitch a year and a half, 2 years ago, and had to retire. I mean, the City out wouldn't even let him play because of his condition. Then he got picked up by Brentford as a free agent, played well, and now he's signing for United. I think that shows his character. That shows his mentality. I do think he raises the level at United and will definitely improve the competition. You can't deny that. I mean, Andres Pereira, nowhere near Manchester United's level, and he's on his way out now to Fulham. Even if you bring in Eriksen, even if you bring in Ten Hag, their problems aren't going to go away. You need a 6 at Manchester United Football Club. The last player we need to talk about at Manchester United is Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo has reportedly come out and said he wants to leave Manchester United. The honest truth is, it's because they're not competing for any titles, and it's because they're not in the Champions League. Now, I respect Ronaldo so much. He's a legend. He's a GOAT. He scored 18 goals and had 3 assists in a shit United team last season in the Premier League. He is not slowing down. You're still getting a top striker who's going to ensure you goals. If he was at City, he would have scored 30 plus goals. So I respect him so much. And I'm not saying that bringing him in is a problem from a profile perspective. I just think it's a huge risk to bring Cristiano in for any club. If you bring Cristiano in and you don't win silverware, it's a failure. And you're also shattering your wage bill and shattering your business model. Now, the one team that did make sense to me was Bayern Munich, especially if Lewandowski leaves. But I think Oliver Kahn says it best. I mean, he said, as much as I appreciate Cristiano Ronaldo as one of the greatest, a move would not fit into our philosophy. Like any club that he goes to, you're completely changing the wage structure. You're completely taking a risk on your business model. So at the end of the day, I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will leave Manchester United unless he himself takes a normal wage. Anyways, let's move on to Chelsea now. There's some big news coming out of Chelsea today. Chelsea and Manchester City have apparently agreed a £45 million fee for Raheem Sterling. Now, What a signing that would be for a player in his prime, 27 years old, England international, who will automatically become their best attacking option. 45 million pounds is a complete steal. That is crazy. 4-time Premier League champion, 27 years old. That's a steal, man. Now, last year, he only started 23 matches, which is the lowest amount since his debut season at City. But I would argue he still had a decent season. I mean, 13 goals, 5 assists, 23 matches in and out of the side. Definitely not his best season, and he's definitely over the past 2 years dropped off from his form 3 years ago when he was bagging 20 goals a season. But he's in his prime. He plays for England. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. The only question is, will Tuchel be able to get the best out of him? I would say I would lean towards yes, but we can't deny the fact that wingers at Chelsea have somewhat struggled in their current kind of system. Not necessarily it's a system's fault. Pulisic has been injured. Ziyech has been in and out of the team. Timo is a striker kind of playing out wide. It's a weird one, isn't it? I think he would fit Chelsea's system because of his ability to play in the half spaces, to play in tight spaces, in pockets of space, but also drift wide and pick up the ball and run at players. You know, he's very versatile in the way he can play and operate. At City, he's played in a false 9. He's played out wide. Once you go to City, I feel like you can operate in most systems. So I'm not too worried about him fitting into Chelsea. My only question is, why is City selling him for only 45 million pounds? He's only 2 years older than Rafinha. He's also English, so you have the English tax. And he's a 4-time Premier League champion. In my book, that is an absolute steal. I'm still shocked by it. Now, one more thing I wanted to discuss in terms of Chelsea is their center back options, or who they need to go after at center back, because obviously they need a center back. Christensen has left the club. Rudiger has left the club. Chelsea need a center back. It looks like Kounde is edging closer to a deal with Barcelona, so I'm not sure if they'll pick him up, but I really like the idea of Matthijs de Ligt in the Premier League. And it's a bit crazy to me because I feel that he's getting written off to a degree. In my opinion, Matthijs de Ligt is still the best young center back talent in the world. And I feel people are forgetting that. Not just how he plays football in terms of defending and playing out the back, but his leadership qualities in his warrior mentality. That's something you can't teach. And I feel like he has that bit to him. And not all players have that, especially in the current day of football. So for me, he's still like the top center back talent. I have not written him off, although I feel like he is being written off a bit. Now, thinking about it though, if I were Juve and De Ligt wants to leave and clubs want him, I would go to Bayern Munich and I would ask for Upamecano in return. I don't know if that transfer to Bayern has worked out as good as people think. I also don't think the transfer of De Ligt to Juve has worked out as people think. A potential swap deal makes sense in my head. Let me know what you think in the comments about that one. That could be interesting. Now, Juve are also going after Koulibaly. He's the only defender, in my opinion, that gets close to Van Dijk. If Koulibaly played for a club like City, like Liverpool, like Real Madrid, people would be saying he's the best center back in the world. He's getting way overlooked, man. He won the African Cup of Nations with Senegal. He's been doing his thing for Napoli for forever now. Defensively, it's so hard to get past him. One more year on his contract. If you could get him for a low price, oh my, what a player you'd be signing. All right, now the last club I want to discuss is Barcelona in terms of a center back as well. And it looks like Kounde is edging closer to a move to Barcelona. I can't lie, I think he would be a good fit. I mean, physically, he's strong, he's fast, he can jump high, he can win headers in the air. But what I really like about the fit to Barcelona is his ability on the ball. He's really capable in possession. He can break lines with his passes. He's press resistant in that he can carry the ball into midfield. The only thing I think about though is he's somewhat similar to Araujo. They're both suited to playing on the right side of a center back pairing. I would prefer Barcelona to go after Pau Torres. I just think he suits their playing style really well. And a left-footed center back is also crucial in a system like Barcelona and how you want to build out the back. He won the Europa League. He made it to the semifinals of the Champions League. For me, I would prefer to see Pau Torres at Barcelona than Jules Kounde. Now, the last player at Barcelona I want to discuss, and this has been growing on me for 6 months now, 6 months now, is Memphis Depay. I think he should leave the club. I think he's a top player. When he was at Lyon, he was at a top level. He was playing top level football. He played 178 matches. He scored 76 goals and had 55 assists. I want to see him leave Barcelona because I think he has so much more to offer. We see it at the national team as well. If a club plays with a false 9, Memphis Depay for me is a great option. On the ball, he's good. He can carry the ball past players on the dribble. He's a good passer of the ball. He's creative. He's averaging 3.88 shot creating actions per 90 minutes. But he also has one of the purest strikes in world football. I mean, when this man connects with the ball, it's flying into the back of the net. I would love to see him at a different club. Anyways, let me know what you think about these transfers in the comments down below. And I hope you enjoyed. Peace.